possibly be insulting, and so I think it's a natural reaction.
Yeah.
And it's just one way to lash back and say, hey,
What's your
screw you guys.
reaction?
Well, I think there's a lot of emotion involved. So as a Canadian, I'm like Canadian and American now, but
Yeah.
I'm Canadian first. I think like anyone,
Yeah.
what state were you born in?
New Jersey.
So even though you're American, you're probably a New Jersey guy at heart.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like we home is where the heart is. So if you're
Yeah.
from Bermuda or from China, like you can live anywhere else, but you're always your birthplace. It's I think
there's
it's
pride in
wired
that.
into us.
Yeah.
So I think the pride side of Canadians is like, screw you.
Yeah, what are
we're
you
not. No, we're Canadian. But then I say, and this is as a Canadian, I'm very proud to be a Canadian. That's my first inclination as Canadian. But when you peel away all the emotion from it, and you go, well, what's the practicality of this kind of, idea?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's almost like if you owned a house and it was 3,000 square feet, and some guy came along and said, hey, why don't we add 400,000 more feet for free, give you a security perimeter, and lower your payments?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say no? You know what I mean? And so if you look at it from a practical point of view, it sort of makes sense. If you eradicate the border, there's no more of that nutty border stuff.
Yeah.
All the taxes and the economy assimilate. So Canada, who's not the most powerful economy in the world, and the United States is, so now they become one, and also has the most powerful military in the world. So now you have the most powerful military in the world. And I think what really sort of bends people the most is our history, our culture.
Of course, yeah.
But our culture I don't think that would ever go away. It's not like they're going to erase the history books.
No, but it would be tough to. I mean, just even the French-speaking parts to the other parts, like that's right. That has never gone away.
Right. And I'm French Canadian too, half French Canadian. And I always say to people when they ask me this question, the spiciest part of doing a deal like that would be the Quebecois, the French people, because Canadians are prideful, but I think the French Canadians are even more prideful because they're an anomaly in a sea of English-speaking provinces. But all that rhetoric peeled away.
Mm-hmm.
I, as a Canadian, it's like I'm not dead set against it.
Really?
Yeah, because culturally we're really close. We share the same music, the same fashion, the same entertainment. Like we're really close. And we have our the Canadian hosers and the French toast and the log roll and but that's sort of folklore. That's sort of from the old days.
Nostalgia, yeah.
And everything sort of has to move forward in the world. And if you look at East and West Germany, at some point that wall came down and they re-assimilated. And I think someday North Korea and South Korea will be one again. And so here we are, we have this imaginary border. We're very similar.
Yeah.
And I think Canadians now, and I don't want to speak on behalf of all Canadians, there might be Canadians watching me going, you traitor, we hate you, but this isn't for our generation. It's going to be passionate for people in our generation.
Right.
But if we do assimilate, if we do become part of America, then the